Hey guys, James here again. This is what if Tanjiro met other Hashira. Now in this one, I'm actually going to be having Tanjiro meet Rengoku. I'm going to make this entire series so I go through all 9 Hashira. Actually, 8, because we know what happens if he meets Giyu. So we're starting with Rengoku, probably the Hashira that he's closest to. Or he was closest to. Notice in the background, if you guys hear it, either dogs, brother, fan. Alright, now let's go. Now, when Tanjiro meets Rengoku, it'd be basically him trying to bring Nezuko through the woods, and then Nezuko attacks him. Rengoku arrives, trying to slash at Nezuko, but Tanjiro is able to actually smell Rengoku arriving, as Rengoku has the fact that he eats a lot, I'd probably assume that he has the smell of food on him, and Tanjiro smelled food and actually pushed Nezuko out of the way, almost making Rengoku hit him. Rengoku would stop halfway through, and as Tanjiro hit the demon, but Tanjiro tells him, "That's not a demon, that's my sister." This leads to Nezuko still attacking Tanjiro, but then Rengoku, and then Rengoku tried to attack her, but Tanjiro's in the way, so Nezuko tried to end up protecting him. The fact that Rengoku's openness is canonically very high, him seeing Nezuko protect Tanjiro would probably allow him to stop and actually Tanjiro what's going on here. Tanjiro actually put Nezuko in a bear hug and told Rengoku the entire story of how he left, and when a neighbor told him to stay with him for the night, he came home, his family was dead, and Nezuko's a demon. And Rengoku's first thought is, well, Muzan. With this, he decides to take in Tanjiro, telling him he knows how it feels to lose a family member, but he can't imagine the pain of a family in general. So we'll make sure that Tanjiro can hang on to the last bit of family he has. And with this, I don't think he'd actually take in Tanjiro to his house or anything. Just Rengoku was taught flame breathing to himself. So I can see Rengoku being the one to take on Tanjiro as a Suguko. I can see him taking on Tanjiro as that. So Tanjiro will be taken on as a Suguko for Rengoku. And he's brought to Hashira Estate, where Tanjiro would bring Nezuko as well, and they have the whole thing where it's like, who here votes that Nezuko should be executed? And, well, with this, Giyu actually able to be something very neutral, and would agree to more or less, I guess she can stay if she doesn't eat anyone. So he raises his hand, saying that she shouldn't be, Rengoku does as well. And, in fact, Rengoku has a very notable, he's a very trustworthy person, so that leads to Gyomei and Tengen siding with Rengoku. So with this, ones who vote for Nezuko to die are, well, actually Mitsuri as well, who I should probably said Rengoku. So the ones who vote for Nezuko to stay alive would be Mitsuri, Rengoku, Giyu, Gyomei, and Tengen. That's 5. Only 4 who don't, well, not Gyomei. Muichiro's kind of doesn't care, so that's 3 who don't vote for her to be alive. So that's kind of very outvoted. And with this, Nezuko's able to stay. And with this, for this time, they do figure out that Nezuko can actually, not stay alive, but recover energy by sleeping. So with this, Shishi will stay with Mitsuri from a lot of the time. Mitsuri or Muichiro, the one who dozes off the most. So Mitsuri basically trains Nezuko on basically how to fight, while Tanjiro would train with Rengoku on how to be a swordsman, basically. And Rengoku isn't really the greatest teacher. He did kind of train Mitsuri, but that led to her developing breathing style. Never mind, he's a good teacher. Never mind, yeah. Rengoku would teach Tanjiro what he knows, but also have a book on flame breathing. And when his father actually asked him, what do you need that dumb book for anyway? You mastered flame breathing. And he's like, oh, I met a new kid who knows sun breathing. His father actually goes to check out Tanjiro in person, and she leads to his father actually had taken a small interest in Tanjiro, and with this actually kind of co-trained Tanjiro. His father's on and off. He's kind of getting out of a small funk, honestly, where, well, kind of how Rengoku, how everyone sees Tanjiro as a mother figure, or not mother figure, but reminds them of their mother. Rengoku sees his mom smile at Tanjiro, and Shinjiro sees his wife smile at Tanjiro. So Shinjiro softened up a little bit, but not much. At the point where he gave Tanjiro and Rengoku both tips on how to improve their flame breathing techniques. But by the time the 2 years is up, Tanjiro didn't master flame breathing, but he knows all the forms. And he also would basically hold up. Yeah, so Tanjiro kind of began to combine flame breathing and sun breathing. He combined Blazing Universe and Burning Bones Summer Sun. As those are both kind of just downward slices, but Burning Bones Summer Sun is a twirling attack. But then it's basically an extension of Blazing Universe, but much more powerful now. So yeah. Well, this when Tanjiro would take the final selection. He goes through it. Well, when he finds the hand demon, Giyu, due to Tanjiro's been at Hashira headquarters the entire time, he's basically friends with all the Hashira except for Sanemi and Obanai. But he's able to actually close to Giyu. The point where Giyu is able to tell him about the hand demon, not like Sabito and Makomo, but tells him about the hand demon. He's like, hey, do me a favor, kill it. It's killed a lot of my fellow water breathing students, and I'd appreciate it if you killed them. So yeah. So Tanjiro would kill the hand demon pretty quickly. But other than that, he basically slices apart every other demon he comes across with minimal difficulty, if not just a singular slash. So yeah. But we move on to probably the end of it. At this point, Tanjiro doesn't really too phased at all. He cleared up all the demons with no difficulty. Also, by this point, Tanjiro can use fuck, I just had it in my head real quick. What was the name of it? Oh yeah, concentration breathing, repetitive motion, and that's about it. Yeah, concentration breathing and repetitive action. He can use both of those already. And with repetitive action, he did awaken the mark one time, and that was it. Only person who knows that he has it is Gyomei. Because Gyomei was the one trying to teach him repetitive motion, or action. Okay. So hold up real quick. Okay, so we have the kidnapping demon, the one that kept kidnapping, killing women. Tanjiro does go on the first mission, and Nezuko does use a weapon. She uses basically the fact that she's a demon, and she's supernaturally strong. She doesn't get a Nichiren blade, but she gets this heavy iron object. And it's basically not a flail, but it's just a really heavy axe. Very similar to Meimei's axe from JJK. So Nezuko kind of uses that. And she doesn't know stone breathing, but she can repeat some of the forms, but she can't really use a breathing style. But she's able to more or less repeat some of the motions of Gyomei with the flexibility of Mitsuri, which is very impressive. So for this mission, Tanjiro would find the kidnapping demon, and swamp demon. And when it comes to the three bodies, Tanjiro can tell Nezuko that he can take on two of them if she can kill one of them. He can take on all three on his own, but he wants Nezuko get some action in. And she just grunts in agreement that, yeah, I can do it. So with this, Tanjiro would fight two of the bodies, while Nezuko fights the third one. And when it comes to the third one, who just tried to jump at her, immediately Nezuko would actually coat her axe in flames, if she can't do that. Because it's not Nichiren, but her axe is demon burning. Now, so she's able to do that and basically cut off the demon's head in one fluid motion, which kills it right then and there. Tanjiro with the other two would just do one quick slash, and that was into the demon right then and there. Because Tanjiro is much stronger than the canon. I wouldn't compare him to any of the Hashira in terms of power. If you want to go weakest to strongest Hashira, I'm gonna give my opinionative list. Strongest, Gyomei. I'm talking about unmarked at this point. Unmarked, I'd go Gyomei, Sanemi, Rengoku, unmarked. Tengen, Giyu, Obanai, Mitsuri, Obanai, or actually Muichiro, Mitsuri, Obanai, at the end Shinobu. And then while marked, it's a whole different argument, but I'm going Tengen higher. In fact, I'm biased on a lot of these, but also my memory for their feats aren't all that high. But Tanjiro, if we're going to fight, if we were to fight Shinobu right now in an unmarked state, it'd be a good fight. She'd win overall, but out of 10 fights, he'd win about 4 or 5. So he's pretty close in power Shinobu, but I'd say comparative overall, he's Kaigaku level, about that. I'm talking about Demon Kaigaku. So yeah, he's upper 6 level. So yeah, so Rui isn't really too difficult for him to fight. Not Rui, Rui wouldn't be too difficult for him to fight later on, but this demon right now, it'd be very low difficulty in one move. So yeah, we didn't have him use have him use first form. First form annoying fire because it's a dash attack. So he uses that, cuts off the head of 2 of the demons, and cuts off the heads of the 2 bodies, and that's the end of the fight right then and there. There's when Tanjiro will do a thumbs up, and then they move on out of the village. After that, we go on to Tanjiro and his sister in Asakusa. So in this one, Tanjiro and Nezuko meet Tamayo and Yushiro, which are 2 examples of demons that can exist with humans. But they also meet Muzan. When Tanjiro meets Muzan, he has his hand on his hilt and is able to briefly expose his blade. And Muzan can tell that Tanjiro is a strong demon slayer. Also, the fact that Tanjiro's mark seems to be almost arriving allows Muzan to realize alright, this is going to be a threat later on. But now go on to Tanjiro and Nezuko versus the eyeball and Samari Ball demon. When it comes to the eyeball demon, Tanjiro, when he realized the eyeball demon is able to move him around, all he did was plant his feet in the ground as hard as he can, and then the demon's wait, he won't move. Instead of the demon being shocked, annoying fire, or annoying flame, head off, right then and there, fight's over. For the hand demon at least, or for the eyeball demon at least. Tomorrow Ball Demon tried to throw balls at Nezuko, but she cut them in half with just the axe alone, and spun around, flinging Tomorrow Ball back to the demon, bashing his head open, and then cutting his head off right then and there, which kills her immediately. Tanjiro didn't want to know, like, hey, who's their boss? And Tanjiro openly says, it's obviously Muzan. Obviously Muzan. And Tamayo's like, fair enough. And then we move on after that. Tanjiro just passed on a message from his crow to Rengoku, telling him about Tamayo and Yushiro. And the crow would basically talk to Rengoku and, basically talk to the 5 that Tanjiro are close friends with, those being Giyu, Mitsuri, Rengoku, Tengen, and Gyomei. Those 5 hear about Tamayo and Yushiro as they're all hanging around when Tanjiro's crow would arrive. But the fact that everyone at all Hashiras are very much enhanced, they all overhear what the crow said. They pass the message on their master, who, first saw Sanemi and Sanemi and Obanai are like, oh, we should kill him. Shinobu's like, I'm curious on what shit she has, so I vote no killing. And immediately, Yukata's like, actually, I want to see what they have, so Gyomei, you're my guard, Shinobu, you're coming with me, bring me to Tamayo. As Tanjiro would end up relaying the location to them. So, yeah. Alright, now the next arc is the Suzumi Mansion. And that's where we get introduced to Zenitsu and Gyomei. Not Gyomei. Zenitsu and Inosuke. Yeah. So, Tanjiro would be along the road and Nezuko on his back, and he finds Zenitsu cowering with a woman. Tanjiro recognizes Zenitsu from the exam. He's like, hey, aren't you the Thunder guy? Tanjiro's kind of assuming based on what he knows about other Hashira. He's like, yeah, the Thunder guy. I'm like, well, you're the student of Hashira. You shouldn't be cowering. As he picks up Zenitsu like he's a backpack and keeps walking. And Zenitsu begs Tanjiro to put him down, but Tanjiro just says no. Then eventually he goes to Suzumi Mansion, and then Tanjiro mentions like, hey, I'm the student of Hashira as well. In fact, I'm trained around most of the Hashira, so I'm pretty strong. You can just stick with me. I promise, I'll protect you. And he just smiles. And he leaves Nezuko outside, knowing that if she gets touched, she can protect herself. It'll be fine. Then with this, Tanjiro goes inside the Suzumi Mansion, where it's Kyogai and 2 other demons. And inside, Zenitsu still goes unconscious and kills that one demon. Then Inosuke fights the other one, killing that one. Then when it comes to Kyogai, Tanjiro and Kyogai would talk. When it comes to the poetry, Tanjiro actually asks him, like, can I read some? As he's a very open person, but more open than Rengoku, about 100% opening, instead of, Rengoku's 95% opening. So he reads some of Kyogai's poetry, and says, it's not bad, but definitely I can see where it wasn't the best. He tells Kyogai why he likely didn't get accepted, which makes Kyogai a bit mad, but he still understands. But then when Kyogai tells the story, he simply says he wants to be accepted by Muzan again. Tanjiro kind of just puts his point of view, saying, Muzan doesn't accept you. Ooh, well, if he doesn't accept you now, why would he ever? He's a merciless king of the demons, right? Kyogai knew that Muzan was merciless and the king of the demons, and realized that Tanjiro is right. He only gives power to those that he views as valuable. He would have helped me get stronger if he viewed me as a valuable demon. Kyogai kind of slumped to his knees and told Tanjiro, kill him quickly and make it painless. That's all he asked. Tanjiro nodded, and with one simple slash, not even a name attack, just a very quick slash, he cut off Kyogai's head. After this, we go on to the 3 demon slayers with Nezuko staying at a hotel with Wisteria, and that's where they realize Nezuko's a demon. Inosuke wanted to fight her, but when he tried to, she just hit him with the handle of her axe, sending him into the ground full force, which knocked him out right then and there. Tanjiro mentions like, yeah, she has a blood demon art that makes her really powerful to the point where I think she's stronger than me sometimes. Which Nezuko just blushes and just and just lets her hand at him, saying like, oh, stop it, no, I'm not. She is. So, she's definitely stronger than Tanjiro is. The fact that she has almost unlimited endurance, higher physical strength, she's faster, every stat she has is above Tanjiro's aside from intelligence and skill. That's about it. Only thing Tanjiro has on her at this point. So, yeah. But, we go on more to the Mount Natsugumo arc, and we end up seeing the Father Demon arrive, and Tanjiro just simply tells Inosuke, you go rush in, there's more demons here. I'll fight this one. But Inosuke's like no, I want to fight him. But Tanjiro finally relents, saying, alright, fine, as he rushes forward ahead, jumping over the demon. But when he jumps over, Inosuke realizes that Tanjiro dropped the box. But then the box was open. Only Fire Demon's legs are burned off by Nezuko, and then he's sent flying through a tree. Netsuko lets out a few just loud growls. She goes into her giant form, not giant, but her adult form. And Inosuke's like, alright, I'll fight alongside you because you look badass. So her and Inosuke jump the father demon and they kill it pretty easily as a duo. Let's keep going, and Inosuke actually burning down the forest. It doesn't really burn it burns demons. So it burns up all the threads, because they're demon threads, and it frees all the demon slayers. And if they're poisoned, the flames burn out the poison. So with this, when it comes to Zenitsu, when they arrive, at this point Zenitsu kind of already did, like, kill the demon, and when he's poisoned, Inosuke would just burn out the poison, and he's fine. With this, they finally find Sister Demon. Inosuke just grabs her and kills her pretty quickly, actually, or just Inosuke can kill her. Tanjiro he mercy kills Mother Demon. And comes to him versus Rui. He doesn't kill him as easy as Giyu did, but it's a very like low mid diff fight. Like Rui with some threads, Tanjiro threads to pieces with no difficulty. Rui even uses red threads. Tanjiro can use Hinokami Kagura by will and pretty effectively to cut the threads to pieces. So I would say about Tanjiro, about 55% of power can kill Rui. And he does do just that, but he does hear his backstory and everything, and then, the rehabilitation arc, honestly, it's kind of just for Zenitsu, just because he was poisoned for 10 minutes, and that was it, but that's about it. He doesn't need to rehabilitate that long, maybe 3 days, he'll be fine. So, rehabilitation arc is where Tanjiro actually begins teaching his friends how to do concentration breathing. But also, he figures out, the fact that he's been around all the Hashira, he knows a lot of their techniques and how they should, not how his friends should train, but how, they can improve. So once they learn concentration breathing, he recommends to Inosuke, hey, for strength training, do, a repetitive action, see how strong you get to. And for Zenitsu, basically just tells him, go train with Yome and see what he has you do. Zenitsu does just that, and when he comes back towards the end, beginning of the Mugen Train arc, he calls Tanjiro a heartless bastard. You're a heartless bastard for making me go through that man's training. Tanjiro simply says, flex your arms, I want to see how much you've grown. Zenitsu just growls at Tanjiro, and then we go into Mugen Train. For Mugen Train, we have the demon that first started killing the innocent, the one demon that has really fast, that demon. The fact that Tanjiro is now he's officially the Suguko of Rengoku. He goes on missions with him now. So when it comes to that mission of investigating Mugen Train, he's with him at all times. And then so is Nezuko. When it comes to the demon of that first, we'll go to the demon first when it was at the train. Tanjiro would actually look at Rengoku, and then the Nezuko would sneakily open the box. And immediately this led to the demon being a bit suspicious, and when it vanished, so did Nezuko. Nezuko is so physically amped at this point, she trains really hard and can recover pretty well. She basically just darted full speed after the demon and began tracking it. When the demon thought it was safe, Nezuko would cut it and begin burning it, and it's dead. So Rengoku and Tanjiro didn't really need to handle it at all. Nezuko had it in the bag. And Mugen Train, for this story, it's basically Tanjiro's proving point to become a Hashira, as he's definitely worthy of at least after Rehabilitation Arc, it was more or less him training people, but he's definitely proven, he can beat a lower moon pretty not easily, but he can beat one with a decent amount of power. So with this, Rengoku basically tells Tanjiro, after this mission, I'm going to be recommending you, depending on how well you do, I'm going to be recommending you to become the Sun Pillar, as you can use Hinokami Kagura pretty well. Tanjiro appreciates that, and then Rengoku, but, Inosuke and, Inosuke and Zenitsu are on the mission as well, as usual. And honestly, I say the only important part of this would probably be Tanjiro versus Enmu. As much as Tanjiro versus Enmu confronting them on top of the train. Well, how do I phrase this? Tanjiro already doesn't like his dreams are messed with because he saw his dead family, but also in his dream, Rengoku is an actual brother to him, and Rengoku was dying. He didn't want to picture that. The fact that he was picturing someone he considers family dying, and he hates that. Once he woke up, he's like, I picture Rengoku as part of my family. I don't know what I'd do if he died. But once he realized what Enmu would probably do with that information, Tanjiro would go to the top of the train, find Enmu, and immediately just begin coating this blade, not coating it, but begin using 9th form Rengoku, but he combines it with Sunflower Thrust. As he does both those moves, he basically would combine them both into just flame and sun surrounding him, and hits Enmu head-on, killing him right then and there in one move. This was very much enraged Tanjiro. This was a rage amp move. So when Rengoku came to the roof to find out, what Tanjiro was doing against Upper Moon, seeing how well he was doing, he saw Tanjiro kill him in one move, and was honestly amazed. As the other demon that was on the train were pretty easily handled by not even Rengoku, who was kind of sitting down helping the children that were in their dreams. And when Akaza arrives, Tanjiro's worst nightmare still comes true of Akaza killing, Rengoku. Tanjiro's at full powers, he only used one move to kill Enmu, and that was it. But against Akaza, he is no help at all. He is still, if anything, he may have surpassed, he's definitely Hashira level now, but he is not, if anything, one-on-one, he'd be killed by Yuzuru high diff. So, if he's still high diff by Yuzuru, then Akaza is still going to mercilessly kill him or Rengoku, and for the story, it'd be Rengoku. With this, Shinjiro does still ball his eyes out, but now he does realize flame breathing is left with one person, and that is, Tanjiro. And this actually makes Shinjiro kind of realize, only thing my son knew me as before he died was a spiteful, hateful man, and he barely got to see me change. So with this, he comes back not to be a Hashira, but he brings Tanjiro with him to Hashira headquarters, and he begins actually training all the Hashira, or anyone who is basically training anyone who he didn't think was stronger than his son, which has basically led to the time between the Mugen Train and the Entertainment District. Time between that, Shinjiro was training everyone that he could. Like Mitsuri, he trained her. Muichiro trained him. Tanjiro, Inosuke, Zenitsu, he trained them. But Tanjiro being around Shinjiro and Rengoku early on for years, he just kept realizing his wife would be ashamed of him, and he didn't want that. And then my son and my wife were similar. I don't want to imagine my dead son being disappointed in me. So he began training them all really hard. Even Tanjiro as well. He also begins dating a few Oikadas. Not dating, but very much having a small relationship with Oikada's daughters. For the Entertainment District at this point, Tanjiro basically is now succeeding Rengoku as the Flame Pillar. He knows every form and has mastered it to completion, as he already did know all the forms prior to Shinjiro's not interference, but Shinjiro's arrival. But now with Shinjiro's reinforcement, hey, I'm much more skilled than my son is. Physically, he may have been better. His skill did not scratch mine at all. So now Tanjiro, with Shinjiro's skill and a body almost similar to Rengoku, if not a little bit better, he is now the much stronger Flame Pillar, which actually does surprise Shinjiro, but at the same time it doesn't. So for this arc, I would say a lot is very similar, but the point where Tengen comes to Tanjiro first instead of going to the Butterfly Estate Girls, and she asks him if Nezuko can blend in. And Tanjiro, but asks Nezuko, she says sure. And then, I would say let's say we skip forward between the fight with Daki and Gyutaro versus the team. And Nezuko just pulls out her axe and is ready to fight Daki. As Nezuko's very much candidly, she was stronger than Tanjiro still, which brings her to I'd say overall in power. She can extreme diff Hatengu. So, yeah. So with this, Tanjiro is alright, well, Nezuko can pretty quickly handle Daki, I know that. So, how about all of us? Other guy. Because Tengen still made her reveal Gyutaro, so... So now that Gyutaro's out, everyone begins jumping him, while Daki fights Nezuko, who kills her within, less than 5 minutes. But by then, Tanjiro at this point can, prior to Shinjiro, he can be high diff by Gyutaro. And I mean, Gyutaro are damn near equals. I don't think Gyutaro would have been higher than Hatengu at all in rank. Maybe Gyoko, he could have replaced him. But that's the time I was only willing to give Gyutaro. Tanjiro's upper 5 level at this point. Or high upper 5 tier. If not, close in power to Hatengu, but I don't know, probably love to be mid-diff as Hatengu, but still. He's able to fight Gyutaro pretty much handily, equally. Tengen is a cherry on top, as Tengen's also a little bit stronger. And then we have Inosuke and Zenitsu, who are also stronger. Zenitsu, who's been training with Gyome, and Inosuke, who's been training with Sanemi, actually. With this, these four, or yeah, Tengen, Zenitsu, Tanjiro, Inosuke, then actually Nezuko joining Ning. They have these five jump Gyutro and kill him. And when it comes to his like little burst of power, not burst of power, but burst of like sickle blades or sickle blood coming after them when he's killed, they're all very injured, so they can tank it. And if they're poisoned, Nezuko. So yeah. And when Tengen's biggest injury with a small flash from his eye didn't even blind him, it's just a very cool aesthetic scar now. When he's like, oh, flare. No headband needed now. So headband's gone, flare's the scar. Plus his wife's also called it attractive, so he likes it. After the Entertainment District, we now go on to Swordsman's Village arc. And, honestly, I think she's begins to Tanjiro's here for the fact that he wants to get a new axe for Nezuko, and that's about it. I would also say this arc, honestly, very similar to canon. I would say this arc is very similar to the canon story, and other than that, not much else. I mean, the fact that Tanjiro's a lot stronger, he can probably just easily kill majority of Hatengu's bodies by himself. Him and Mitsuri alone, those two are overkill for Hatengu now. But then, them teaming up, they find him a lot earlier, kill him easier. Nezuko joins in, Moicho did his own thing. Yeah, this arc is just honestly a lot quicker of a fight. Now, another Hashira training arc. This one, Tanjiro is the official, like flame pillar now. So he's training a lot of people. With him, it's basically him teaching his students how to increase their speed. Tengen's training was more of like the fact of, hey, catch me, is more like a reaction speed thing. With Tanjiro, it's the attack speed. With this, he'd basically be telling him, charge at me, and if you make me move, that means your attack speed and strength are good. Few people actually have the speed to actually dash at Tanjiro, but they stumble over their own feet, meaning that they can't control the speed. So with this, he's able to actually help a lot of people improve their attack speed. Ones who actually excelled in training were shockingly Zenitsu. So, yeah. But I would say by the time we go on to the Infinity Castle arc, hold up. So Infinity Castle's first fight I'm going to cover is Zenitsu versus Kaigaku. This one's Zenitsu's a lot stronger. Point where Tanjiro, not Tanjiro, Gyomei, have been putting him in repetitive action. Point where Zenitsu is even awakened a Nichiren blade. So with this, Zenitsu does fight Kaigaku, but Kaigaku sees sees Zenitsu using a Nichiren blade. He realizes that Zenitsu is a much stronger slayer than he could have ever imagined, that he's using such an ability, a point where its ability only attained, so far, by a Hashira. At this point, Kaigaku's on edge the entire fight. But the thing is, no matter how on edge he is, Zenitsu is faster, stronger, more skilled. It's the only thing that Kaigaku would have on Zenitsu is literally just hacks, and even then that's not enough, and he still dies to Zenitsu. Low diff. He didn't have to go all out. He needed to use like 60%, and that was more than enough for the fight. So, first form, with all Zenitsu needed, not even going all out. Just first form, a little bit of power, he wins. Next fight, Tanjiro and Giyu versus Akaza. But, actually this being Tanjiro and Tengen, those are the two closest friends to to Rengoku. I was thinking of Gyomei, then Gyomei's name comes similar to Inosuke to me, similar to Inosuke. Tanjiro and Tengen, close friends to Rengoku, so those two are going to be the ones to fight Akaza. Giyu can be in there if he wants to, but Giyu, honestly, is not much of, like, he's probably going to be fighting Kokushibo instead. Tanjiro and Tengen fight, they fight against Akaza, and Tanjiro's actually, like, one of the furious in this fight, like, majorly furious. So Tanjiro's fury, but also his skill being greater than it ever was at any point in the story. He enters a state very similar to what he was against Muzan, where he had the poison on his eye and stuff like that. Tanjiro has that pose, but no poison in his eye. He's literally just that guy at this point. With this, he fights against Akaza with Tengen's help. Tengen never awakening his mark because, well, one, he doesn't think he's going to die. Two, I just don't want him to die. So Tanjiro and Tengen fight against it's Akaza, and at this point, Tanjiro going into the zone, and Tengen going all out using two Nichiren blades. These two quickly actually are able to kill Akaza before he learns to regrow his head, but Tanjiro just feel bad for him in the end. But just tell him, no matter how much he feels bad for him, he can never forgive him for what he did to Rengoku. And Tengen is the same, but he does apologize for how bad his life was. The ones who are currently not approaching, but ones who are fighting Kokushibo, Muichiro, Genya, Sanemi, Gyomei, and Giyu. Those are the 5 who are fighting against, actually, probably Zenitsu as well. So yeah, those 6 are fighting against Kokushibo. But now we have Mitsuri, Obanai, and Yushiro versus Nakime, which honestly, I can see the fact that this fight being pretty much the exact same. Also, like that Tengen is probably able to hear how the fight's going and knows he'll get very badly injured without help. The fact that maybe they can probably so today you have Tengen hearing what possible plan that Yushiro may have, and how fast Tengen fights. Him and Mitsuri as a duo would be a very good distraction for Nakime for Yushiro to put a tag on her so they can control Infinity Castle. So he arrives and then tells Obanai him and Mitsuri need to go and fight Nakime. They're the biggest distractions. And tells Obanai leave. Obanai does just that, considering the logic in Tengen's idea, and as Tengen and Mitsuri fight against Nakime, this fight is actually where Tengen does lose his hand. But just in time as he smirks, as soon as his hand is destroyed, well, his hand would fly off, and in its palm of his now empty hand are bombs, sending Nakime flying back. As she hit the wall, Yushiro put a tag over her face and tell her, well, you fell for it. As this was a very big distraction. Tengen's hand was just a small sacrifice. With this, Nakime is now controlled by Yushiro, and he now controls Infinity Castle. Tengen would end up basically using his sleeve, wrapping it. Well, he doesn't wear sleeves. I mean, I'm just gonna see Mitsuri giving him her Haori, wrapping it around his wound so he doesn't bleed out. Turning into like a tourniquet. But now we have Shinobu versus Doma. The fight goes on, and honestly, I don't see this fight being much different. I don't want it to be different. I don't see it being different. This fight was good in general. So with this, Shinobu still dies the same way she does in canon, being eaten by Doma. But when he's weakened, Doma now has to face a stronger Inosuke and an enraged Kanao. So with this, those two things when they fight him, Inosuke also now using Nichiren blades, but also combining beast breathing and wind breathing. As Inosuke already invented his own breathing style, combining 2 of them would not be that hard for him. This is the point where he can actually destroy some of Doma's ice, and Mr. Doma being cut off guard, Kanao would chime in with their own strikes, and fatally wounding Doma. Point where these two, well, when it comes to fighting him, Kanao didn't need to go all out, but she needed to go like 90-ish% of power. Inosuke did go all out, and even then, he was almost not too much, but he was definitely a heavy tier fighter. He was above how Tengen would bare minimum. And so with this, they're able to kill Doma, or at least make him die via poison. But now with this, we go on to fight versus Kokushibo. Muichiro, Genya, Sanemi, Gyomei, Mitsuri, Iguro, Tengen, Tanjiro. So 7 Hashira, Genya, Tanjiro, Inosuke, Zenitsu, and Kanao. So like 13 people versus Kokushibo, because all the fights were ending earlier due to stronger people being involved. When it comes to them versus Kokushibo, well, at this point he's already very close to being killed, but now that they have control over Nakime, probably even earlier than canon, I can see them being able to get Kokushibo out of Infinity Castle or stalling him to the point where he's still killed. But by the time Muzan arrives, not everyone is really badly injured. Like, there's still definitely bad injuries, but the only person who's kind of dead right now is Genya. So since we have Tanjiro, who's locked in, kind of ready to go all out. A few people using their marks, and 2 people using, not 2 people, basically everyone using Nichiren blades. Like the bright red, too. So with this, when it comes to fighting Muzan, all they need to do is outlast him until they can get to sunrise, which honestly, locked in Tanjiro, using Nichiren blade, Transparent World, basically using every single Demon Slayer ability, was not too hard for him to do. Tanjiro would be able to use to Seeing King Kagura. He would basically use Dancing Flash combined with one with Ninth Form Rengoku. He's combining a lot of forms, but he would basically use those 2 attacks, 2 pretty strong forms, and send Muzan basically flying away. And this is where Tengen would arrive, not arrived, but already be there. He's using some of his bombs and flashing them all at Muzan. And they go off, they detonate in his face, blinding him a bit, and then Gyoma takes advantage of that, sending Muzan over the head as hard as he possibly can. And Muzan basically blinded, injured, and having a PTSD attack. At this point, Muzan doesn't have time to poison anyone with his blood. He is honestly freaking out and terrified. And since he can't really be away from them because of the fact that Yusho is controlling Infinity Castle, by the time it's sunrise, they basically force him outside and he burns to death. There's no Demon King Tanjiro. Muzan never had a chance to touch him. Tanjiro was just pissed from the start of the fight. With this, the fact that Muzan's PTSD got the better of him, he loses the fight. With this, by the time the fight's over, I would say the ones who live are... The ones who live... I can see Gyome, Sanemi, Giyu, and... Obanai, all... Not around, Mitsuri probably. Those are the ones who basically died due to their marks. Obanai basically just kind of lives in isolation for the rest of his life, but it's actually near Tengen. He doesn't know it, but it is. So Tengen is the one who kind of just drops him off stuff with his wife's help. And then Zenitsu, Tanjiro, Inosuke, and Nezuko all live together in harmony. And, yeah. But with this, we end this version of the story here. Comment which Hashira you want done next. Adios.